Afternoon everyone. It's a pretty grim, wet, rainy March Saturday afternoon. I haven't done a video for quite a while, so I thought I'd catch you up. We've been pretty busy really. Since the last video I did like this, we've had a baby, Lucinda. She's awesome, doing really well. She's 8 months old now, so yeah, that's pretty cool. Work's been flat out. It was quiet in November, December, but to be expected. We've done Lammer, we've done Dairy Tech with Lactaline, we've done West Country Farm and Machinery Show a couple of weeks ago, which that was a long way down to Exeter, but pretty good fun, even though it rained. But it dried up and it was, yeah, got to have some pretty good conversations. I also got to meet Joe from Grizzly Trailers, which was pretty awesome really. I really enjoyed that. He's a right good lad, and yeah, we had a right good chat, so it's nice to meet people you see on the internet. So yeah, I just thought I'd show you a couple of jobs that we're on with in the workshop. Yeah, bit of a few random jobs and a few errors as well, which is always a bit frustrating but kind of inevitable. First job that I'll show you is trough surrounds for De Laval HB50 herringbone milking parlours. So that's what they look like. So these are stainless steel, and we make them to replace the original ones which were normally supplied as galvanised. So there's 20 there, 10, they are handed as well, so there's 10 left, 10 rights, going up into Scotland. I've done quite a few of them in the last couple of months. They're sort of, yeah, come and go, and sometimes we don't do any for ages, and then sometimes we do, yeah, get a bit of a run on them. I'll just show you this error. So these are laser cut parts that make the wings for the compact front boxes, and yeah, sometimes these errors are my fault. And I'm always a bit cautious to blame anybody until I'm absolutely certain it's not my error. But I have looked at the email, I've looked at all the files, and I've looked at everything, and I can't see how this has gone wrong. And I'm not really bothered. I'm not going to blame anybody, just because people make mistakes and you have to accept that. But it's just frustrating when we need to get on, and yeah, bit of an error. So the error is, I'll flip you around. The error is where this bend is, where these bends have gone. They're about 50 mil. This should be 208 to the first bend, and it's 155, which means this doesn't line up. And it's the difference is basically there. So basically that is meant to line up with there. And then if that fold was in line with there, that one would be there, that one would be there, this would be back here. So that's where the difference is. The 50, this should be back here, but it isn't. And this is something we really need to get out the door, and unfortunately this is going to hold it up, which is annoying. And also, I don't quite know why, but the files have got 5 holes for what's going in there, and this one has only got 2. So that's quite frustrating really, especially seeing as for every part I send 3 files. I send the PDF drawing, I send a DXF file, and I also send an STL file. No, a step file, sorry. Step file, not STL. STL is for stereolithograph, I think it's called, is for 3D printers. So yeah, it's a step file. So PDF drawing, DXF, and step file for every part to try and avoid things like this happening. This is another random job. I'll take my hat off since I don't need it on. This is, I can't really stand it up, but this is a demonstration board for the CRV overalert system. Or overalert, sorry. This gets mad with me because I call it overalert, but it's not. So basically this is a board that goes out round dairy farms for them to try the overalert system, which is these things here. It's a collar and a transponder, and in that transponder there's quite a lot of technology, and it monitors the health of cows. It monitors their activity, it monitors rumination, if they've got rumination functionality. It's basically Fitbit for cows, and they have them on all the time. It's made, this system is made by Nidap, which is a Dutch company, and in fairness, Nidap make this system for a lot of people. You tend to find a lot of that it's rebranded. It'll be Nidap technology underneath, but it's rebranded for CRV, Bowmatic, GEA, Alta. Who's the other one? Yeah, I can't remember. I'm not going to say that name because I can't be certain that's right. But yeah, it's pretty good. I've been involved with this sort of stuff since 2003 when I started working with the robot milking machines, because all the technology on there, within reason, was Nidap. The collars were Nidap, the health, the activity monitoring was Nidap. So yeah, in my opinion, it's good gear. The batteries last quite a long time because you're relying on a battery to run them. I've had quite a bit of involvement with a lot of other systems like this, and yeah, the batteries haven't lasted, and that makes hard work. So yeah, so the error I've got with this is that I'm trying to find a box to put. How we make this work is we put a 4G router on it. So this needs an internet connection for it to work. So we put a 4G router on it, which is in that box. That's a 4G router with an external aerial, which picks up the 4G network and gets it what it needs. Now, I've started doing this quite a while ago. I never did many, but I did a few. So we were doing 4G rural internet before 4G was really as good as it could be, and yeah, probably 6-8 years ago now. But that's what the box I was using for that router, and I need a new box anyway because this is off an old system and it wanted to be right. It wanted to be fresh to go on this board, so I needed a new box. So I got this one, but what I'm trying to do, and the reason I want a transparent lid, because when the router is in the box, I want them to be able to see the lights on the router so that they can see that it's working. So there's like a line of lights on the router. So the lights on the front of there sort of tell you what's going on, and I want them to be able to see it without having to open the box. So I have some 3D printed brackets inside there. Inside there are some 3D printed brackets that basically position it at an angle in the box and hold it in place. They'll put it at that sort of angle and you'll be able to see the lights. But what I also wanted to do was I wanted to have one plug coming out of it. So basically you've got one lead, one plug it in and everything works. Which meant the power for the overlert system, that plug, and the power for the router, that plug, need to go into that box, into a plug, to then come out as one lead, which that box isn't big enough. So I went and found another box, but the problem is now it's a bit too big and it's a bit overbearing, really. And obviously I did have the measurements for it, so I offered it up, measured it roughly, thinking, no, that looks about right. Then went and got it and thought, no, that's massive, that's way too big. So I need something in between that one and that one. So I found another one, and we'll try and see if that one will do the job. This board has been printed on this like aluminium composite stuff, and then we've bonded it to a sheet of plywood. And it is worth saying, this isn't the first one I've done of these. I did one years ago, probably 6 or 8 years ago now, and that one's been used by CRV in the north of England. This one is heading for the south, so they can use it down there, because in fairness they never got a chance of the other one. It was always on a farm up in the north. But also the one that I did first 6 or 8 years ago, for some reason I didn't print the board for that one. The board was printed in Holland and I sent the board and all the bits and basically made it work. But the board is massive, it's just huge, and it doesn't fit in cards very well. It's a nightmare. So basically they've asked, can we redo that one to match this one so that it will fit in a car? So yeah, so there'll be another one to do at some point. So yeah, that's a job that we're on with and needs to be out the door. I was hoping to get it finished yesterday, but then because the box is too big, yeah, that didn't happen. And then we've had another error, which is this one's particularly frustrating. I'm making some replacement slurry pulleys for various reasons, and you'll see why in the future video. But drawn it all up on SolidWorks, so thought it was going to be right. But then when they've come, this is a steel ring that I was going to cut in half, and it's for a rope scraper, so the rope's meant to go through here. But the problem is, I drew the steel ring thinking the centre line of the ring was the diameter. When we bought these off the internet, and I thought the centre line of the ring was the diameter, but no, the actual diameter is they're meant to be 75. Well, the diameter is actually the inside. And what was meant to happen was this ring was meant to sit inside here, so we could weld it in. But because it doesn't, yeah, that's not going to work. So I'm going to have a go trying to cut it and see if we can reshape them to the size we need so they fit. Which is all just the joys of making stuff. Just part of it. So I'm trying to make these rings fit. I'll put it on this bit of plywood so you can see there. So sort of, yes, cut it and hammer a bit and it's fitting. But that wasn't the intention when I designed it, because the idea was that these just got cut in half and then welded in, not messing about hammering them. But that'll do, because that'll sit in there nicely now. Right, game on. So that's a bit of a catch up on what's been going on here. Still doing quite a few compact front boxes, still on with lots of other stuff. Some bits I never really talk about. I think that's the first time I've mentioned the trough backs, just because, I don't know, just other more interesting stuff going on. Previous videos I've talked about my pickup. I've got a Ford Ranger. It's just done 50,000 miles. And it was 2 years old yesterday, so I picked it up the 1st of March 2022. So I've done 50,000 miles in 2 years, and in fairness, it's been a good one. It's done a lot of towing. It's never given any bother. My previous pickup was a Nissan Navara, and that spent quite a lot of time at Nissan for warranty problems. So the fact that I've done 50,000 miles and it hasn't put me off the road is quite good. Really, it's been serviced as it needed to be, and yeah, good truck. So hopefully it'll keep going. The only downside is it's going to run out of warranty in 10,000 miles, and yeah, I don't know what to do about that. To be fair, I don't like running stuff out of warranty just because it can get mighty expensive. But we will see. We'll see what we do. I'm probably not going to do a lot more this afternoon because I've got 3 girls at home and a wife who I quite like spending time with. So probably going to fiddle about with these jobs and then call it a day and go and spend a bit of time with them. So yeah. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. We'll keep you updated as we go on with these different jobs that we're on with, and there's quite a bit to come, different jobs. So if you did enjoy it, like the video and subscribe. It doesn't cost anything, and if you leave a comment, we'll do our best to come back to you with answers. If there's anything you want to see more of, let us know. I'll do my best to keep you entertained. Thank you.